1947. Byrd leads the largest Antarctic expedition ever. It ends after 8 weeks.
4,700 men, 13 ships, 33 aircraft. The mission suddenly terminates with no explanation.
Byrd describes flying over ice-free lands with vegetation and encounters requiring immediate classification.
75 years later, regions remain restricted. What did he find that demanded such secrecy?
Welcome to Sapiens Untold. If you enjoy these explorations of humanity's mysteries, please like and subscribe. Where are you listening from tonight? It's the bitter Antarctic summer of 1947, and you're standing on the ice-choked deck of a massive naval icebreaker, the wind whipping at your face, the vast, white expanse stretching infinitely around you. The ship is part of Operation Highjump, led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd, a celebrated polar explorer and Medal of Honor recipient. This expedition, launched just after World War II, was officially a mapping and scientific endeavor. But as you look around at the unprecedented fleet, 13 ships, 33 aircraft and nearly 700 personnel, you can't shake the feeling that this is far more than cartography. Official records show this was the largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, a scale that seems excessive for mere research, even for the nascent Cold War era. The mission, planned for 6 to 8 months, concluded abruptly, after only 8 weeks. You pore over old dispatches, the hurried messages hinting at an unforeseen urgency. Why did such an overwhelming force retreat so suddenly? Declassified documents reveal unusual mission parameters, and whispers persist of ships returning damaged and unexplained personnel losses. The military has never fully explained the premature termination, fueling a decades-long enigma. Byrd's own words describe something extraordinary. In an alleged 1947 diary entry, you read of flying over ice-free areas, witnessing green vegetation and lakes where only frozen desolation should be. Then, a chilling statement reportedly given to a Chilean newspaper. The expedition encountered a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. In a radio interview on March 5, 1947, he spoke plainly of a land beyond the pole, further elaborating on an ice-free area the size of the United States. These aren't the words of a man simply mapping terrain. The official explanation is scientific research and post-war military positioning, but the scale of resources, the abrupt ending, and Byrd's cryptic public statements continue to ignite questions. Was it a discovery of vast mineral resources, or perhaps strategic military sites that remain classified? Or did Byrd, a figure of unimpeachable credibility, stumble upon something far more profound beneath the ancient ice? Perhaps an advanced technology, an entrance to a subterranean world, a secret Nazi base established during Germany's own enigmatic expeditions, or even evidence of extraterrestrial presence, as some theories suggest. The mystery deepens with his sudden death in 1957, shortly after his final Antarctic mission. What did Admiral Byrd truly find that required such overwhelming force and such profound secrecy? The biting wind of the Antarctic whips across your face as you gaze out from the deck of the Time City of New York *, anchored near the edge of the Ross Ice Shelf in 1928. This is Admiral Richard E. Byrd's first major expedition to the South Pole, long before Operation Highjump, establishing his reputation not as a fringe figure, but as a pioneering aviator and decorated naval officer, a man whose judgment would later carry immense weight. He was the first to fly over the North Pole in 1926, and would achieve the first South Pole flight in 1929, feats that earned him the Medal of Honor and cemented his place as an unparalleled explorer. His credibility is unassailable, making his later cryptic statements all the more compelling. But Byrd was not the only one drawn to this remote, enigmatic land. You uncover intelligence reports detailing Nazi Germany's own expedition to Antarctica in 1938-39, establishing a claim to a region they named Neuschwabenland. This pre-war interest, largely unknown to the public, sets a chilling geopolitical stage for Byrd's post-war ventures, hinting at a hidden race for the continent's secrets long before the Cold War officially began. After the enigmatic termination of Highjump, Byrd returned to Antarctica for Operation Deep Freeze in 1955-56, another colossal undertaking designed to establish permanent research bases. Yet just 5 years after his death, in 1961, the Antarctic Treaty was signed by 12 nations, designating the continent for peaceful scientific research only, banning military activity, and postponing claims to sovereignty. The timing of this international agreement, enacted suspiciously soon after decades of military-backed expeditions, raises profound questions about what was truly at stake. You examine declassified photographs from these expeditions, searching for clues. Some images show anomalous surface features, shapes and patterns in the ice that defy conventional geological explanation, hinting at something unnatural or incredibly ancient beneath the vast white desert. Could these be the outlines of pre-glacial civilizations preserved under millennia of ice, or geological anomalies of immense strategic value? The military has never fully explained their origin. The official narrative asserts purely scientific and strategic interests for Byrd's missions, and the subsequent international accord. But standing here, watching the ice glint under the pale sun, you can't help but wonder if the extreme lengths to explore and then try to protect, this continent, hint at discoveries far beyond what has ever been publicly revealed. What secrets did Byrd and his crews truly witness in this desolate, yet fiercely guarded land? The hum of the aircraft engines fills your ears, a steady thrum against the vast silence of Antarctica, as you soar across the continent's interior in the crisp, cold air. Below, the endless white expanse stretches to the horizon, a mesmerizing, unforgiving landscape. You imagine yourself in Byrd's cockpit during Operation Highjump, the panorama unfolding beneath the wings. For hours, it's an unbroken sea of ice and snow, yet official records show that these flights were not just for mapping, they were probing deep into uncharted territory. Suddenly, a shock of impossible color breaks the monochromatic vista. You lean closer to the window, disbelieving, as the ice gives way to a terrain unlike anything you expected. Here, according to Admiral Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries, were ice-free areas, vast stretches of land with actual vegetation, and even clear, azure lakes. Imagine the profound wonder and disorientation of witnessing such a sight in the heart of the frozen continent. This account describes an oasis, a warm interior region that defies all conventional geographical understanding of Antarctica. These cryptic entries fuel theories that Byrd may have discovered evidence of pre-glacial civilizations preserved under the ice, or perhaps a geothermally active zone supporting an entire, unknown ecosystem. Could this have been the land beyond the pole Byrd mentioned in his radio interview? It's a vision that aligns with persistent hollow Earth theories, suggesting hidden entrances to subterranean worlds warmed from within. Then, there's the chilling statement Byrd reportedly made to a Chilean newspaper, describing an encounter with a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. This isn't the language of scientific discovery, but of military engagement with an unknown, formidable force. Did Byrd and his men stumble upon advanced technology from an unknown origin, perhaps remnants of ancient civilizations, or even an extraterrestrial presence? The possibility of Nazi bases established during Germany's prior secret expeditions also looms, an enemy capable of such feats. After the mission's abrupt end, Byrd was allegedly subjected to a classified debriefing and ordered to remain silent about his discoveries. The military has never fully explained this secrecy, or the disproportionate resources committed to the expedition. The truth of what Byrd saw in that ice-free expanse, and who or what constituted this new enemy, remains locked away, leaving you to ponder the immense secrets that may lie beneath Antarctica's frozen veil. The bitter, dry cold of Marie Byrd land presses in around you, even through the thick window of the vintage aircraft. You are airborne again, tracing the phantom flight paths of Admiral Byrd's expeditions, this time focusing on a particular unnerving detail: the compass needle. Pilots from Operation Highjump, flying over these desolate regions, reported erratic instrument behavior, particularly unusual magnetic fluctuations that defied explanation. You imagine the crew's unease as their vital navigation tools, usually steady and reliable, began to flutter wildly, pointing not to the magnetic pole, but to something else entirely beneath the vast ice sheet. This unusual magnetic activity over Marie Byrd land adds another layer to the enigma surrounding Operation Highjump's abrupt termination. Was the mission's premature end, after only 8 weeks, instead of the planned 8 months, merely a logistical failure, or was it a swift evacuation prompted by encounters with phenomena that overwhelmed even the most advanced military technology of the time? The military has never fully explained the cause for the sudden withdrawal of 700 men, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft. Such anomalies fuel speculation that Byrd may have encountered something far from conventional. Could these magnetic disturbances be the signature of advanced technology hidden beneath the ice, perhaps an ancient power source from a pre-glacial civilization, or even a sophisticated, unknown craft as described in Byrd's alleged secret diary entries, which mention disc-shaped vehicles and advanced beings? Or do they point to clandestine bases, perhaps established by Nazi Germany's own earlier Antarctic explorations, leveraging an undiscovered energy source? The evidence gaps are vast. Byrd's alleged secret diary, detailing encounters with advanced entities and descriptions of lands beyond the poles, remains controversial, its authenticity fiercely debated, leaving you to question if it's a genuine record or a later fabrication. Were Byrd's reported statements about a new enemy simply misquoted by the press, or were they deliberately suppressed after his classified debriefing upon return? Regardless, his sudden death in 1957, shortly after his final Antarctic mission, only adds to the lingering questions. What did these inexplicable magnetic forces signify? And what did Admiral Byrd take to his grave about the true nature of this most enigmatic continent? The scent of aged parchment fills the quiet air as you lean over a reproduction of the Piri Reis map, illuminated by the soft, flickering glow of a lantern. This extraordinary document, meticulously drawn by an Ottoman admiral in 1513, is renowned for its astonishing accuracy in depicting coastlines of Europe, Africa, and the Americas, long before such comprehensive global cartography was thought possible. But it's the map's most southerly section that arrests your attention, showing a landmass unmistakably resembling the continent of Antarctica. Here lies the profound anomaly. Antarctica was not officially sighted until 1820, and its coastline remained largely unmapped beneath vast ice sheets until the 20th century. Yet, the Piri Reis map presents a detailed, ice-free asterisk shoreline of what appears to be Queen Maud Land, a region of Antarctica. Mainstream cartography struggles with this depiction. How could a map from the early 16th century show a continent that was then unknown, and in a geological state that hasn't existed for millions of years? Alternative researchers point to the map's own annotations, which state it was compiled from older source maps, some dating back to the 4th century BCE, or even earlier. This implies an ancient civilization possessed sophisticated knowledge, capable of surveying the Earth's landmasses when Antarctica was not fully encased in ice. Geologists confirm that Antarctica was indeed largely ice-free millions of years ago. This raises an astonishing question. Did incredibly advanced ancient navigators or mapmakers possess knowledge of a pre-glacial Antarctica, passing it down through lost records? This ancient enigma echoes Admiral Byrd's own alleged discoveries during Operation Highjump. You recall his supposed 1947 diary entries, describing flights over ice-free regions, complete with vegetation and lakes. Could the Piri Reis map, a relic from an unknown past, be a cartographic blueprint for the land beyond the pole that Byrd claimed to have found? Was he perhaps guided by whispers of ancient knowledge, or did he independently rediscover what once lay exposed and was meticulously documented millennia ago? The military has never fully explained the precise objectives or the abrupt termination of Highjump, and Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent about his findings. The truth about what he saw, and how it might connect to this incredible historical map, remains classified. What kind of civilization possessed the technology and knowledge to chart a continent before it froze solid? Could its remnants, as depicted on this ancient map, be exactly what Admiral Byrd stumbled upon, hidden for ages beneath the vast silent Antarctic ice? You listen intently to the faint, rhythmic pulse of the Earth, transmitted through the sensitive instruments of a modern seismic station, buried deep within Antarctica's ice. It's a distant echo of geological time, a whisper from beneath miles of frozen history. Today, advanced technologies allow us to peer beneath the ice sheet, revealing vast subglacial lakes, towering mountain ranges, and deep canyons that have been hidden for millions of years. But sometimes, among the expected geological formations, seismic anomalies appear, patterns that are difficult to reconcile with natural processes alone. Imagine Admiral Byrd and his crew during Operation Highjump, flying over these same regions, without the benefit of modern sub-ice imaging. What they saw from the air, describing ice-free areas, vegetation and lakes in his alleged diary, might be corroborated by what these instruments now hint at, a dynamic, hidden world beneath the static surface. If warm interior regions exist, perhaps sustained by geothermal activity, or even unknown energy sources, they could melt the ice from below, creating the very environments Byrd described. Declassified documents from Operation Highjump refer to unusual mission parameters, suggesting an interest beyond mere cartography. Was the immense military deployment, with its 700 men, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft, tasked not just with mapping, but with investigating these very geological anomalies? The abrupt termination of the mission, after only 8 weeks, instead of 8 months, takes on new significance if they encountered something unexpected, something that registered not just visually, but perhaps also seismically, disrupting their operations. Consider the possibility that the new enemy Byrd reportedly mentioned to a Chilean newspaper, capable of flying from pole to pole at incredible speeds, wasn't necessarily an external force, but perhaps something indigenous to these deep, hidden geological structures. Could it have been advanced technology, or even unknown life forms adapted to a warm subterranean environment, disturbed by the expedition's presence? Byrd, a respected naval officer and pioneering explorer, was not prone to exaggeration, giving weight to his cryptic claims. The military has never fully explained the losses sustained, or the true reasons for Highjump's premature end. What exactly did the seismic echoes reveal to early geophysicists, and how might that data remain classified even today? The questions linger. What lies beneath those miles of ice that necessitated such overwhelming force, and why, 75 years later, are so many details still shrouded in profound secrecy? A subtle, almost imperceptible warmth brushes against your gloved hand as you lean cautiously over a deep fissure in the Antarctic ice. It's a chilling contrast to the sub-zero air, a pocket of anomalous heat rising from the depths. Beneath the faint thermal current, you detect a low rhythmic hum, a vibration that seems to emanate from the very bedrock below. This isn't the familiar groan of shifting glaciers, but something more deliberate, more profound. Imagine Admiral Byrd and his crew during Operation Highjump, encountering such a phenomenon. His alleged 1947 diary entries described flights over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, environments that would require a substantial and constant heat source in the world's coldest continent. Could this unexplained warmth, this faint hum, be a localized manifestation of the greater heat that sustained those incredible oases he claimed to have found? Mainstream explanations suggest geothermal activity, volcanic warmth deep beneath the ice. Yet the persistent hum hints at something more engineered, something beyond natural geological processes. This leads to a fascinating array of alternative interpretations. Did Byrd discover entrances to subterranean worlds, warm interior regions where unknown life forms thrive, as posited by hollow Earth theories? Or did he stumble upon advanced technology, perhaps the remnants of pre-glacial civilizations harnessing an arcane energy source, their legacy still emitting this faint, powerful hum? The scale of Operation Highjump, with its 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, seems excessive for a mapping mission. If, however, the mission was secretly investigating such sources of immense, unexplained energy, its true parameters would suddenly make sense. The abrupt termination of the expedition after only 8 weeks, far short of its planned duration, becomes less about logistical failures and more about an encounter with a powerful concealed presence. Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about encountering a Gurra, new enemy, that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds, could refer to entities protecting this energy source, or even the technology itself. The military has never fully explained the precise findings or the abrupt end of the mission, and Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent. What secret lies beneath this fissure, generating heat and a rhythmic pulse in the heart of the ice? Was it a classified geological discovery of immense strategic value, or something far more extraordinary, something that still lies hidden, humming softly beneath miles of ice? A frigid, dry gust sweeps across your face as you stand before a remote Antarctic mountain range, its jagged peaks piercing the vast white expanse. Above them you observe an eerie spectacle. Anomalous cloud formations gather, unlike any natural meteorological phenomenon you've seen. These aren't typical wisps or storm fronts. They are strangely localized, swirling with an unnerving precision, hinting at a hidden force influencing the atmosphere. Imagine Admiral Byrd, during Operation Highjump, flying over such a landscape. His pilots and crew, veterans of polar exploration, would have immediately recognized the strangeness of these atmospheric distortions. Official records show Operation Highjump was the largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, with 700 men, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft. For a mere mapping mission, such overwhelming force seemed excessive. If, however, they were investigating phenomena like these unusual cloud formations, perhaps indicating a hidden presence or technological activity beneath the ice, the scale of resources begins to suggest a deeper purpose. These cloud anomalies could be a signature of warm interior regions, perhaps superheated geothermal vents creating localized microclimates that manifest in the sky. Or, as some theories suggest, they could be a form of atmospheric concealment, a cloaking mechanism for a secret base. Could it be a hidden Nazi stronghold, established during Germany's own clandestine pre-war expeditions to Neuschwabenland, equipped with advanced, experimental technology? Or perhaps, something far beyond human construction, an advanced technology from an unknown origin, or even an extraterrestrial presence creating these atmospheric shields? Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries describe flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, which would necessitate warm, localized microclimates. These anomalous clouds could be the visible manifestation of such concealed warmer zones. Furthermore, his reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about encountering a Mochi Shine Pollard's Asholti, new enemy, that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds, might refer to craft emerging from, or operating within, these very atmospheric disturbances. The abrupt termination of Operation Highjump after only 8 weeks, instead of the planned 6 to 8 months, remains unexplained. Was it a retreat prompted by encountering these mysterious atmospheric phenomena, or the advanced entities behind them? Byrd, a decorated naval officer and respected explorer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained these enduring mysteries. What truly caused these strange cloud formations over Antarctica's hidden mountains? And what secret did Admiral Byrd carry, unspoken, about the forces that shaped them? The biting Antarctic wind fades into a profound silence as you duck through the shimmering blue entrance of an ice cave. The air within is unnaturally still, a stark contrast to the swirling gusts outside. The light, filtered through layers of ancient ice, casts an ethereal, otherworldly glow, painting the cavern walls in shades of sapphire and turquoise. There's no echo here, only a hushed absorption of sound, as if the very ice is listening. This stillness, this lack of natural movement or sound, creates a deep sense of mystery, suggesting an environment deliberately cut off from the tumultuous world beyond. Imagine Admiral Byrd's expeditions, particularly Operation Highjump, encountering such a hidden gateway. His alleged 1947 diary entries speak of flying over ice-free areas, hinting at a world concealed beneath the frozen surface. Could these ice caves, or deeper fissures, be entrances to those warm interior regions, a subterranean world far removed from the brutal Antarctic weather? The sheer scale of Operation Highjump, 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, seems excessive for a simple mapping mission. Yet, if the objective included probing for and securing such monumental discoveries, the resources deployed become understandable. This unnaturally still interior could harbor many secrets. Mainstream explanations might point to stable geological formations or unique wind patterns. However, alternative theories propose far more intriguing possibilities. Could this be a hidden base, perhaps one established by Nazi Germany during their own clandestine Antarctic expeditions, now cloaked and protected? Or perhaps it's an entrance to a lost world, a pre-glacial civilization preserved in a warm pocket, or a site housing advanced technology from unknown origins, even extraterrestrial presence, as some claims suggest. The abrupt termination of Operation Highjump, after only 8 weeks, rather than the planned 6 to 8 months, becomes deeply significant in this context. Did the expedition discover an entry point, or even breach one, leading to an encounter that forced a rapid withdrawal? Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about a commode, new enemy, that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds, fuels the speculation of a confrontation with something powerful and unknown. The military has never fully explained the precise reasons for the mission's premature end, or the alleged personnel losses. Byrd was reportedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. What silence truly pervades this ice cave, and what forgotten chapters of humanity's past, or unimaginable future, does it guard? The cold, rough texture of a subglacial rock sample rests in your palm, its surface etched by millions of years beneath the ice. You bring a hand lens close, examining the curious mineral streaks that vein through the ancient stone. They possess an unusual luster, a faint, metallic sheen that doesn't quite match the surrounding geology. These aren't common deposits. Their precise formation and composition suggest a process beyond typical Antarctic geological activity. Imagine scientists during Admiral Byrd's Operation Deep Freeze 1955-56 collecting such samples. While Deep Freeze was officially about establishing permanent scientific bases, the military involvement and immense resources hinted at a deeper agenda, perhaps investigating valuable geological discoveries. Could these mineral streaks be evidence of vast, strategic mineral resources, elements vital for emerging Cold War technologies, necessitating classification and control? This would provide a mundane, yet powerful explanation for the intense secrecy. However, the precision of these streaks, their almost engineered appearance, opens the door to more extraordinary theories. Could they be remnants or byproducts of advanced technology from an unknown origin? Perhaps the waste material or structural components of machinery belonging to a pre-glacial civilization, long since buried, or even an extraterrestrial presence. Admiral Byrd's alleged secret diary, with its descriptions of encounters with disc-shaped craft and advanced beings, suggests technology far beyond human capability at the time. The abrupt termination of Operation Highjump, planned for 6 to 8 months but ending after only 8 weeks, remains a critical factual mystery. Was the mission cut short due to the discovery of such valuable or anomalous mineral deposits that required immediate military control and secrecy? Byrd's reported statements about a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds might, in this context, refer to rival powers or clandestine groups vying for control over these very resources. The military has never fully explained the true nature of the findings from these expeditions, and Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. What do these strange mineral streaks truly represent? Are they merely a unique geological formation awaiting scientific explanation, or do they hold a deeper, more profound secret, a material clue to the extraordinary discoveries Admiral Byrd might have taken to his grave? The truth likely lies somewhere between, but the questions these silent rocks raise continue to echo across the frozen continent. The sterile, cool air of a polar research laboratory hums around you as you meticulously examine a section of an ice core, extracted from miles deep beneath the Antarctic surface. This cylindrical column of ancient ice, a frozen timeline stretching back hundreds of thousands of years, typically holds dust, gases, and microscopic organisms. But here, preserved with astonishing detail, is something utterly unexpected: a distinct, non-native plant specimen, its delicate leaves and stem unmistakably intact, frozen solid within ice layers, far older than any current surface vegetation. This discovery resonates profoundly with Admiral Richard E. Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries. You recall his description of flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes during Operation Highjump, a claim that defied all conventional understanding of Antarctica's desolate interior. Mainstream science might attribute such a find to ancient pollen, or seeds, transported by wind or currents, and subsequently buried. Yet, the completeness of this specimen, and its context within layers dated to millions of years ago, suggests a more remarkable truth. This plant grew in an environment far different from the one we know today. Could this be direct evidence of a warmer, pre-glacial Antarctica, a lost ecosystem that existed millions of years ago, its remnants now frozen in time? Or, more controversially, does it hint at the warm interior regions that Byrd claimed to have discovered, sustained by hidden geothermal activity, or an unknown energy source? If these warm pockets exist, they could support life, including species thought long extinct, or entirely unknown to science, suggesting complex unknown life forms beneath the ice. The immense military resources deployed for Operation Highjump, 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, were ostensibly for mapping. But if the true objective was to explore and secure such profound biological or environmental discoveries, the scale becomes less puzzling. The abrupt termination of the mission after only 8 weeks, rather than the planned 6 to 8 months, could signify not just a logistical failure, but a rapid withdrawal after encountering biological or even technological phenomena that demanded immediate secrecy. Byrd, a celebrated naval officer and respected explorer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained the presence of such non-native biological material, or the true findings of these expeditions. What does this tiny frozen plant tell us about Antarctica's forgotten past, or its hidden present? And what did Admiral Byrd truly witness in those verdant, ice-free lands that necessitated such profound and lasting secrecy? The faint hum of the radar equipment fills the quiet room as you gaze intently at the shimmering green lines on the display. These aren't surface images, but radar penetration scans, painstakingly compiled from modern polar research. Below miles of solid ice, the ground beneath Antarctica slowly reveals its secrets. And there, starkly visible amidst natural geological undulations, are forms that defy explanation. Perfectly geometric subsurface structures, sharp angles, and impossibly straight lines that stretch for miles, far too precise to be formed by ice or natural rock erosion. Imagine if Admiral Byrd's expeditions, particularly Operation Highjump, had access to such technology. What would they have seen beneath the ice, beyond the ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, described in his alleged 1947 diary? These radar images present compelling physical evidence, raising profound questions about the true nature of Antarctica's hidden interior. Mainstream geology struggles to explain such geometric forms under miles of ice, suggesting perhaps unique rock formations or ancient volcanic structures. However, alternative researchers point to these precise shapes as clear indicators of intelligent design. Could these be the ruins of pre-glacial civilizations, megalithic structures buried and preserved beneath millennia of ice, as suggested by ancient maps like Piri Reis? Or do they represent something more current? Secret Nazi bases, established during their own clandestine Antarctic expeditions, now hidden beneath the surface. The sheer scale of Operation Highjump, involving 4 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, seems disproportionate for a simple mapping mission. Yet if the objective was to investigate and potentially secure sites revealed by such subsurface anomalies, the military resources become understandable. The abrupt termination of the mission after only 8 weeks, instead of the planned 6 to 8 months, takes on new significance. Was it a retreat, an encounter-driven evacuation prompted by the discovery of these very structures, or those who inhabit them? Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds could be a direct reference to craft or beings associated with these hidden installations. After his alleged classified debriefing, Byrd was reportedly ordered to remain silent, and his sudden death in 1957, shortly after his final Antarctic mission, only adds to the layers of secrecy. The military has never fully explained these geometric subsurface forms. What colossal secrets do these silent, precise shapes hold beneath Antarctica's frozen shield? The immense pressure of miles of ice overhead is almost palpable as you descend into the abyssal depths of an uncharted subglacial freshwater lake. The frigid water gives way to an unnerving warmth as you plunge deeper, an unexpected thermal gradient defying the extreme cold of the continent above. Here, in this world of absolute darkness, the beam of your submersible's light cuts through the inky blackness, revealing a vast, silent expanse of water, stretching far beyond the reach of your instruments. The sheer scale, the profound stillness of this hidden ocean, evokes a sense of both wonder and profound isolation. Imagine the shock if Admiral Byrd's expeditions, particularly Operation Highjump, had somehow penetrated this realm. His alleged 1947 diary entries described not just ice-free areas, but specifically lakes, teeming with unexpected life, suggesting warm interior regions beneath the ice. While modern science has now confirmed the existence of subglacial lakes, Byrd's claims, made decades before such discoveries were possible, hint at an understanding or encounter far more direct. What could live in such a vast, ancient, isolated freshwater world? Could it harbor unknown life forms, ecosystems that have evolved independently for millions of years, or perhaps even pre-glacial civilizations adapted to subterranean existence, as suggested by hollow Earth theories? The factual mysteries surrounding Operation Highjump are compelling. Why did this largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, with 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, planned for 6 to 8 months, abruptly end after only 8 weeks? If such a monumental subglacial lake, potentially holding classified geological discoveries or strategic resources, was found, it would profoundly change the mission's scope. The urgency and secrecy surrounding its termination become understandable if a discovery of such magnitude or an encounter with its inhabitants took place. Byrd's own words describe an encounter with a tread-dry new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds, reported to a Chilean newspaper after Highjump. Could these enemies be linked to the profound depths of such a hidden lake, perhaps defending a subterranean domain? After his return, Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent about his discoveries following a classified debriefing. And the military has never fully explained the precise reasons for the abrupt ending or the unconfirmed personnel losses. What secrets does this vast, dark subglacial lake truly hold, and how might they connect to what Admiral Byrd took to his grave? The profound pressure of miles of ancient ice bears down as you listen, through ultra-sensitive hydrophones, to the depths of Lake Vostok. This vast, dark, subglacial lake, entombed beneath 4 kilometers of ice for millions of years, is one of Earth's last truly untouched environments. The silence is broken only by the crackle and hiss of the deep, and then, distinctively, unidentifiable sonar pings echo from the abyssal blackness. These aren't the familiar sounds of geological shifts or known aquatic life. Their cadence and frequency are anomalous, suggesting a deliberate origin. Imagine Admiral Byrd, decades ago, theorizing about such a hidden world. His alleged 1947 diary entries describe encounters with ice-free areas, vast lakes, and warm interior regions beneath the polar cap. Claims that precede scientific discovery of Lake Vostok by many years. Did his expeditions, particularly Operation Highjump, glimpse into these deep hidden waters, or detect similar, unexplained signals? The land beyond the pole, Byrd mentioned in his 1947 radio interview, might not have been a surface landmass, but a concealed, subterranean realm of astonishing scale. These sonar pings fuel a range of theories. Could they be the communication of highly evolved unknown life forms, adapted to thrive in this extreme, isolated environment, their biology and intelligence far beyond our current understanding? Or do they represent something technological? Perhaps signals from advanced craft or installations, remnants of a pre-glacial civilization now preserved under the ice, or even a hidden base established by clandestine forces like Nazi Germany's alleged Antarctic strongholds. The idea aligns with Byrd's reported warning of a Crom-after mu enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. Operation Highjump, the largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, involving 700 men and a massive fleet, was abruptly terminated after only 8 weeks. The military has never fully explained the premature end, the reported losses, or the true mission parameters. Was this unprecedented military presence an attempt to investigate, or even engage with, the source of such inexplicable pings, revealing classified geological discoveries or advanced technology. Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, taking the deeper truths of his discoveries to his grave in 1957. What intelligence do these silent sonar pings, echoing from Lake Vostok's ancient depths, still hide, and what did Admiral Byrd truly know about their origin? The sheer cold of the Antarctic air clings to your fingers as you hold a small, dense fragment of metal, unearthed from a moraine deposit. This piece of rock and debris left behind by the slow, inexorable march of a glacier ordinarily contains only geological detritus, but this object, no larger than your palm, carries a surprising weight, its metallic surface hinting at an origin far from the natural world. Its composition, upon preliminary examination, suggests an alloy unlike any commonly known in that era, or even today. Imagine if Admiral Byrd's men, during Operation Highjump, 1946-47, stumbled upon such an artifact. While officially a mapping mission, the expedition's unprecedented scale, 700 men, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft, for what was supposedly cartography, raises questions about deeper objectives. Declassified documents reveal unusual mission parameters, hinting at investigations beyond simple geography. Could the discovery of such anomalous material, or even larger structures from which it came, have been among the classified geological discoveries they were pursuing? The fragment's unique properties fuel a host of compelling theories. Is it a piece of advanced technology from an unknown origin, perhaps wreckage from the new enemy? Byrd reportedly told a Chilean newspaper about an enemy capable of flying from pole to pole at incredible speeds. Could it be a component from a hidden base, possibly established by Nazi Germany during its own secret Antarctic expeditions, hinting at technological feats far beyond what was publicly known at the end of World War II? Or does it belong to a pre-glacial civilization, a relic from a time when Antarctica was ice-free, as suggested by the Piri Reis map and Byrd's alleged diary entries describing vegetation and lakes? The factual mystery of Operation Highjump's abrupt termination after only 8 weeks, rather than the planned 6 to 8 months, becomes less perplexing if such physical evidence forced a rapid withdrawal. Ships returned damaged, and personnel losses occurred that remain unexplained. Byrd, a decorated naval officer and respected explorer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent about his discoveries following a classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained the true nature of the mission's findings or its premature end. What profound secret does this heavy, anomalous fragment hold? And what did its discovery signify for Admiral Byrd in the frozen, silent expanse of Antarctica? The sterile glow of a computer screen illuminates your face as you zoom in on a high-resolution satellite image of Antarctica. Below the vast expanse of ice, revealed by sophisticated ice-penetrating radar and elevation mapping, you discern something truly astonishing. Perfectly symmetrical ridges, stretching in precise, geometric patterns that span many miles. These aren't the chaotic, organic lines of natural rock formations or glacial movements. Their regularity and alignment suggest an unmistakable order, an intelligent design far removed from nature's usual handiwork. Imagine Admiral Byrd and his reconnaissance flights during Operation Highjump. While not equipped with modern sub-ice radar, his aircraft meticulously photographed large areas. Could some of the anomalous surface features, documented in declassified Operation Highjump records, have been subtle hints of these underlying structures, perhaps visible through thinner ice or during periods of melt? The military resources deployed 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft for what was supposedly a mapping mission seemed excessive. But if these expeditions were also tasked with identifying and investigating such profound subsurface anomalies, the scale becomes compellingly justified. These symmetrical ridges prompt a flurry of questions and theories. Mainstream geology struggles to explain such precision, often attributing similar findings to tectonic forces or unusual erosion patterns. However, alternative researchers propose that these could be the remnants of an immense, pre-glacial civilization, their colossal structures now entombed beneath millions of years of ice. The very scale and precision would align with the idea of advanced technology, far beyond what ancient societies are conventionally thought to possess. Or could these be part of a highly concealed vast military installation, perhaps a hidden base established by Nazi Germany during their secret Antarctic expeditions, or even a strategic military site of the Cold War era that remains classified? Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries describe encounters with ice-free areas, vegetation, and lakes, hinting at a hidden world. His reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds might be linked to the advanced capabilities associated with such immense, hidden infrastructure. The abrupt end of Operation Highjump after only 8 weeks, rather than its planned 8 months, adds to the factual mystery. Was the mission terminated due to the discovery of these very structures, and the implications they held? Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, and the military has never fully explained the true nature of his discoveries. What profound purpose did these perfectly symmetrical ridges once serve, and what secrets do they continue to guard beneath Antarctica's frozen, silent heart? The scent of aged parchment and distant hearth smoke fills the air as you delve into ancient northern European lore, tracing the mythic echoes of Hyperborea. This legendary land, often described as a verdant, temperate paradise existing beyond the north wind, was said to be home to a wise and long-lived people. For centuries, this idea of a habitable, even idyllic region at an otherwise frozen pole has captivated explorers and mystics alike, a tantalizing whisper of a world hidden from conventional sight. You recall Admiral Richard E. Byrd's own startling accounts, particularly his alleged 1947 diary entries describing flights during Operation Highjump over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes in Antarctica. His radio interview on March 5, 1947, further spoke of a land beyond the pole, echoing the very core of the Hyperborean myth, albeit transposed to the opposite end of the Earth. These are not just scientific observations, they are claims that resonate with ancient, improbable legends. Such ancient myths held a particular fascination for pre-World War II Germany. Groups within the Nazi regime, driven by esoteric beliefs and a quest for ancient knowledge, launched their own secret Antarctic expeditions to Neuschwabenland in 1938-39. Were they, perhaps, seeking to uncover the very secrets of such a hidden polar paradise, believing it could hold keys to advanced technology or forgotten civilizations? This geopolitical context adds a chilling layer to Byrd's later missions. The colossal scale of Operation Highjump, 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, for what was officially a mapping mission, seems disproportionate. Yet, if it was a covert continuation of a geopolitical quest for an extraordinary discovery, perhaps even a new enemy, within such a hidden land, the magnitude of force begins to make unsettling sense. Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about encountering an adversary that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds could suggest a confrontation with something truly beyond human understanding, perhaps guarding a hidden Hyperborea. The abrupt termination of the mission after only 8 weeks, instead of the planned 6 to 8 months, and Byrd's alleged order to remain silent after his classified debriefing, only deepens the connection between ancient lore and modern classified expeditions. Did Byrd stumble upon a reality that mirrored the oldest legends, a hidden civilization, or a warm ice-free interior, an Antarctic Hyperborea that required absolute secrecy? The military has never fully explained the true purpose of these missions, or their sudden end? What forgotten truths lie hidden beneath the ice, perhaps guarded by those who once called a polar paradise home? The soft rustle of ancient palm leaf manuscripts fills the air as you lean over faded texts, feeling the weight of millennia in your hands. You are deep within classical Indian scriptures, such as the Mahabharata asterisk, and treatises like the asterisk Vaimanika Shastra asterisk, which describe incredible flying machines known as vimanas. These ancient Sanskrit texts detail craft capable of silent flight, hovering, rapid maneuvers and speeds that would astonish even our contemporary engineers, often powered by seemingly impossible methods of propulsion. This brings to mind Admiral Richard E. Byrd's chilling account, reportedly given to a Chilean newspaper after Operation Highjump, 1946-47, where he spoke of encountering a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. The correlation between these ancient descriptions of vimanas and Byrd's startling modern claim is impossible to ignore. The propulsion methods hinted at in these ancient texts, often involving mercury vortex engines or sophisticated energy manipulation, resonate uncannily with theoretical concepts of anti-gravity propulsion, a technology still largely confined to the realm of speculative science today. Mainstream archaeology largely views Vimana descriptions as mythological or allegorical tales, products of ancient imagination. However, alternative researchers propose they are accounts of actual advanced technology, lost to history, or even evidence of extraterrestrial presence in antiquity. This perspective suggests that ancient civilizations possessed a profound understanding of physics, or received knowledge from unknown sources, challenging conventional timelines of human technological development. The geopolitical context of Byrd's expeditions is crucial. Post-World War II tensions saw a desperate scramble for advanced technologies, including anti-gravity concepts, fueled by rumors of Nazi Germany's own secret Antarctic expeditions, and their quest for esoteric knowledge. Was Operation Highjump, with its unprecedented scale of 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, a mapping mission, or was it a covert search for, or confrontation with, such advanced technologies or the entities operating them? The military has never fully explained why Highjump, planned for 6 to 8 months, abruptly ended after only 8 weeks. Byrd, a highly credible decorated naval officer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. The authenticity of his alleged secret diary, which purportedly details encounters with disc-shaped craft and advanced beings, is debated, yet his public statements remain part of the factual mystery. Could these ancient Vimana texts offer a glimpse into the very technology Byrd encountered? What did he truly witness that mirrored these fantastic descriptions, requiring such overwhelming force and such profound secrecy? Even 75 years later, the crisp mountain air of the Andes invigorates you as you stand before the colossal walls of Sacsayhuaman, overlooking Cusco, Peru. You run your hand along the smooth, cold surface of these immense stones, some weighing over 100 tons. They are fitted together with such astonishing precision that even today, centuries after their construction, you cannot slide a sheet of paper between the joints, achieved without mortar or metal tools. The sheer scale of these megalithic blocks, and the inexplicable engineering required to quarry, transport and perfectly place them, leaves you in quiet awe. Mainstream archaeology attributes these fortifications to the Inca Empire, built through ingenious use of ramps, levers, and immense collective labor. Yet, alternative researchers point to the impossibility of such precision and scale with known Inca technology, suggesting that an older, unknown civilization, with more advanced methods, may have laid the foundation, or even built the entire structure, long before the Inca. This whispers of forgotten capabilities, of a past where human ingenuity, or perhaps something more, was far greater than we conventionally understand. This profound mystery of impossible ancient architecture resonates deeply with the enigma of Admiral Richard E. Byrd's Antarctic expeditions. Imagine if such lost advanced technology, or the remnants of a highly sophisticated, pre-glacial civilization, were discovered not in the mountains of Peru, but beneath the miles of ice in Antarctica. Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries describe precisely such a scenario, flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, suggesting a habitable world that defies Antarctica's frozen image. Could these hidden lands harbor the very kind of advanced culture capable of building structures like Sacsayhuaman? The factual mysteries of Operation Highjump, the largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, remain largely unexplained. Why did it involve 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft for what was supposedly just a mapping mission? And why did it abruptly end after only 8 weeks, when planned for 6 to 8 months? If Byrd encountered evidence of such a highly advanced, perhaps even technologically superior, civilization beneath the ice, similar to the whispers left by Sacsayhuaman, it would explain the overwhelming force, the sudden retreat, and the subsequent layers of profound secrecy. Byrd, a decorated naval officer and respected explorer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent about his discoveries following a classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained the true nature of what he encountered. What secrets of advanced, forgotten civilizations does the precision of Sacsayhuaman hint at? And what similar, perhaps even greater, wonders did Admiral Byrd take to his grave from beneath Antarctica's frozen veil? The cool, ancient stone of Göbekli Tepe rests beneath your fingertips, its monumental T-shaped pillars rising starkly against the Anatolian sky. As dusk falls, the constellations begin to pierce the deepening blue, and you sense the profound connection these 11,000-year-old megaliths held to the cosmos. Carved symbols on these stones, dating back to a time thought pre-agricultural, depict constellations and celestial events with an accuracy that suggests a sophisticated astronomical knowledge unexpected from so-called hunter-gatherer societies. This site, older than Stonehenge and the Giza pyramids by millennia, challenges the very timeline of human civilization and its understanding of the heavens. Mainstream archaeology grapples with how a society without settled agriculture could mobilize the resources and possess the complex calendrical and astronomical insight evident here. Alternative researchers posit that Göbekli Tepe hints at a far more advanced past, a lost civilization with capabilities and knowledge that predate our accepted historical narrative. This ancient enigma, a whisper of forgotten wisdom, resonates with the profound questions surrounding Admiral Richard E. Byrd's controversial Antarctic expeditions. Imagine if such advanced, lost astronomical knowledge extended to a detailed understanding of Earth's geography, including a pre-glacial Antarctica. Byrd's own words described flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes in his alleged 1947 diary, and his radio interview mentioned a land beyond the pole. Could these statements be more than just extraordinary discovery, but a rediscovery of a world once known to ancient, sophisticated cultures, whose astronomical charts and geographical knowledge now lie buried or hidden? The sheer scale of Operation Highjump, with its 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, seems disproportionate for a routine mapping mission. If, however, the mission was probing for evidence of such a pre-glacial civilization, perhaps guided by classified intelligence or ancient texts, the overwhelming force becomes understandable. The abrupt termination of the expedition after only 8 weeks, rather than its planned duration, suggests an encounter that defied expectation, perhaps with advanced technology, or even the remnants of a civilization that guarded its profound knowledge. Byrd, a decorated naval officer and respected explorer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained the true purpose or sudden end of Highjump. What secrets of lost astronomical knowledge and ancient civilizations does Göbekli Tepe silently guard? And what similar, profound truths did Admiral Byrd uncover beneath the ice of Antarctica? Truths that may redefine humanity's understanding of its own past, and which remain classified even today. The dry, dusty air of an ancient exhibition hall surrounds you as you carefully examine a replica of the Baghdad Battery. Discovered in Iraq in 1938 and dated to the Parthian era, roughly 250 BCE to 250 CE, this artifact consists of a clay jar, a copper cylinder, and an iron rod, all carefully assembled. When filled with an electrolyte like grape juice, it produces a small electric current. This unassuming device challenges conventional historical timelines by implying that ancient peoples possessed an understanding of electrochemistry and a mastery of metallurgy to create the necessary components, far earlier than traditionally believed. Mainstream archaeology debates its purpose, suggesting it was for electroplating or even ancient medical treatments, or perhaps a novelty. However, alternative researchers propose it was a genuine battery, demonstrating an advanced metallurgy and scientific knowledge that suggests a forgotten chapter in human technological history. This anachronistic artifact echoes the profound questions surrounding Admiral Richard E. Byrd's controversial Antarctic expeditions. Imagine if Operation Highjump, with its unprecedented scale of 4,700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, was not just a mapping mission, but a search for sources of advanced technology. Could Byrd's expeditions have been seeking evidence of an ancient, technologically capable civilization, perhaps one that could have produced devices like the Baghdad Battery on a grander, more powerful scale? Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries describe encounters with advanced beings and disc-shaped craft, hinting at a technology far beyond what was known in the mid-20th century. The geopolitical context of post-World War II tensions, where a global race for advanced weaponry was paramount, adds urgency to these theories. If an ancient, powerful energy source or technological artifacts were found, it would be a discovery of immense strategic value, necessitating profound secrecy. This aligns with Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds, an enemy potentially possessing such advanced, perhaps rediscovered, technologies. The factual mystery of Operation Highjump's abrupt end after only 8 weeks, instead of its planned 6 to 8 months, becomes less perplexing if an encounter with such advanced technology, or its guardians, forced a rapid withdrawal. Byrd, a decorated naval officer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained the true nature of the mission's findings. What forgotten knowledge of metallurgy and advanced technology does the Baghdad Battery hint at? And what similar, profound technological secrets did Admiral Byrd uncover beneath Antarctica's frozen veil? Secrets that remain classified even today. The warm, crystalline waters of the Caribbean gently lap against your skin as you hover above the Bimini Road, a submerged rock formation off the coast of North Bimini. Below, a perfectly straight path of massive rectangular stone blocks stretches for hundreds of meters, appearing almost deliberately laid. You can feel the currents moving around these enormous stones, some weighing many tons, their edges remarkably regular, challenging the notion of natural formation. Mainstream geology generally attributes the Bimini Road to natural erosion of beach rock, arguing that the precise shapes are coincidental. However, alternative researchers highlight the remarkable linearity, the apparent stratification of different rock types within the blocks, and their striking resemblance to ancient road constructions in other parts of the world. They suggest this is compelling evidence of a submerged artificial structure, a monumental achievement that would require advanced engineering, built by an unknown civilization when sea levels were significantly lower, thousands of years ago. This profound mystery of a submerged ancient structure resonates with the persistent claims surrounding Admiral Richard E. Byrd's controversial Antarctic expeditions. Imagine if similar, massive artificial structures, or even entire cities, were found beneath the Antarctic ice. Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries describe flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, hinting at a lost, habitable continent. Could these ice-free regions, or the depths below the ice, conceal the remnants of a civilization capable of building structures as impressive as, or even more advanced than, the Bimini Road? The factual mysteries of Operation Highjump remain intriguing. Why was this colossal expedition, with 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, planned for 6 to 8 months, abruptly terminated after only 8 weeks? And why, for what was supposedly a mapping mission, did it involve such overwhelming military force? If Byrd discovered ancient pre-glacial civilizations preserved under the ice, or advanced technology from an unknown origin, perhaps even a hidden city, it would provide a powerful reason for the hurried withdrawal and subsequent secrecy. His reported statements about a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds could be a veiled reference to the formidable capabilities of such a concealed civilization. Byrd, a decorated naval officer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained the true nature of his discoveries. What lost civilizations does the Bimini Road hint at, lying submerged and silent? And what comparable or even greater secrets did Admiral Byrd uncover beneath the ice of Antarctica? Secrets that remain classified, perhaps linked to the very builders of such impossible structures. The raw, biting wind whips past your ears as you trek across a desolate, rock-strewn outcrop in the Ellsworth Mountains, their jagged peaks rising like ancient teeth from the Antarctic ice. The air is thin, the silence profound, yet an unsettling sensation prickles at the back of your neck. You feel a distinct sense of being watched, an invisible gaze emanating from the vast, empty expanse, or perhaps from the very shadows of the formidable mountains around you. There's no visible sign of life, no creature to justify this primal instinct, yet the feeling is undeniable. Imagine Admiral Richard E. Byrd and his men, during Operation Highjump, encountering such a disquieting presence. His alleged 1947 diary entries describe not just geographical anomalies like ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, but also encounters with disc-shaped craft and advanced beings. These accounts, if authentic, would certainly explain a profound sense of being observed or even monitored by a non-human intelligence. Byrd's credibility as a decorated naval officer and pioneering explorer gives weight to these otherwise extraordinary claims. The colossal scale of Operation Highjump, with 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, was supposedly for mapping. Yet, if the mission's true purpose was to investigate a known or suspected intelligent presence on the continent, the overwhelming force makes strategic sense. The abrupt termination of the mission after only 8 weeks, instead of the planned 6 to 8 months, becomes less a logistical failure and more an encounter-driven evacuation. Ships returned damaged, and unexplained personnel losses occurred, facts that the military has never fully explained. This feeling of being watched also resonates with Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about a cometary, new enemy, that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. Such an enemy would undoubtedly possess surveillance capabilities, monitoring any intrusion into their domain. Could this presence be that of an extraterrestrial entity, or perhaps a technologically advanced hidden civilization, perhaps even a secret Nazi base established during Germany's own Antarctic expeditions, now cloaked and guarding its secrets? Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, a directive that extended until his sudden death in 1957. The military has never fully explained the true nature of his discoveries. Why does Antarctica continue to evoke this unsettling sense of presence? What profound, watchful intelligence did Admiral Byrd encounter in its desolate mountains? An intelligence that still monitors those who venture too close to its classified secrets. The air in the small, dimly lit room is heavy, carrying the scent of old paper and unspoken truths. You sit across from a man whose eyes, though clouded by age, still hold the distant gleam of Antarctic ice. He is a former crewman of Operation Highjump, one of the few remaining witnesses to Admiral Richard E. Byrd's controversial 1946-47 expedition. His voice is a quiet rasp, carefully chosen words echoing with a lifetime of guarded memories, hinting at far more than he explicitly states. He speaks of the initial awe, the sheer scale of the mission. 700 men, 13 ships, 33 aircraft, resources that, for a supposed mapping expedition, seemed almost ludicrous even then. Official records show this was the largest Antarctic deployment ever. But then, a shadow crosses his face as he alludes to the abrupt shift, the growing unease as the mission, planned for 6 to 8 months, inexplicably concluded after only 8 weeks. He mentions ships returning damaged, and whispers of unexplained personnel losses, details the military has never fully explained. You listen for direct answers but receive only fragments, veiled references. He nods slowly when you mention Byrd's alleged 1947 diary entries, those startling descriptions of flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes. The crewman's quiet affirmation, unspoken but powerfully felt, suggests such impossible landscapes were indeed witnessed. He doesn't confirm an our nation enemy, but his grim expression when you recall Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about encountering a force that they could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds, speaks volumes, implying a confrontation far beyond the scope of a mere mapping expedition. Was it advanced technology from an unknown origin, perhaps a hidden Nazi base established during Germany's secret Antarctic expeditions, as some theories suggest? Or did they encounter an extraterrestrial presence, or even a pre-glacial civilization, guarding its subterranean world? This quiet testimony reinforces the weight of Byrd's own credibility. A decorated naval officer who was allegedly ordered to remain silent after a classified debriefing. What profound secret did this crewman carry for decades? A secret that aligns so chillingly with Byrd's cryptic words and the enduring mysteries of Antarctica. The sudden drop in air pressure catches you off guard as you venture deeper into a newly discovered ice corridor, far beneath the Antarctic surface. Your ears pop, and the air grows surprisingly warm, displacing the expected frigid chill. This isn't the slow, natural ventilation of a common ice cave. It feels like breaching a sealed environment, a vast internal space with its own distinct atmospheric conditions. The feeling is unsettling, hinting at something immense and hidden beyond the glittering walls of blue ice. Imagine Admiral Richard E. Byrd and his expedition during Operation Highjump, 1946-47, encountering such a phenomenon. His alleged 1947 diary entries speak not just of flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, but of entering a different realm altogether, a land beyond the pole, with its own light and temperature. A sudden pressure shift like this suggests a transition into precisely such an encapsulated world, a vast subterranean network capable of sustaining an independent atmosphere. The factual mysteries surrounding Operation Highjump are compelling. Why did this largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, involving 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, planned for 6 to 8 months, abruptly end after only 8 weeks? If the objective was merely cartography, such an overwhelming force and a premature withdrawal are perplexing. However, if the mission involved exploring deep ice corridors and encountering such dramatic environmental shifts, perhaps indications of entrances to subterranean worlds or even hidden bases, the scale and the hasty retreat become far more logical. This pressure change could signal the presence of advanced technology, regulating an internal climate, or even a hidden civilization existing in warm interior regions, as suggested by hollow Earth theories. Could this be a concealed Nazi base, established during Germany's own pre-war Antarctic expeditions, where they sought to create a refuge or develop advanced weaponry? Or does it hint at an extraterrestrial presence, guarding their domain with atmospheric controls? Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about encountering a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds could directly relate to beings or craft operating within such a hidden, pressure-controlled environment. Byrd, a decorated naval officer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, and the military has never fully explained the true nature of the mission's findings or its abrupt end. What kind of world lies beyond this shift in pressure? And what profound atmospheric secret did Admiral Byrd stumble upon? A secret that remains classified even today, locked deep beneath the Antarctic ice. The silence beneath the Antarctic ice is profound, broken only by the drip of melting water as you navigate a narrow, subglacial cavern. Ahead, a strange, pulsating luminescence reflects on the underside of a massive ice sheet, casting the frozen ceiling in an ethereal, shifting glow of greens and blues. This isn't bioluminescence from unseen organisms. The light source is too consistent, too controlled, hinting at something artificial, something operating in the absolute darkness. Imagine Admiral Richard E. Byrd and his crew, during Operation Highjump, encountering such an inexplicable light source. His alleged 1947 diary entries describe not just ice-free areas and vegetation, but also a journey into an inner world, illuminated by an unknown light. Such a luminescence would be a clear sign of intelligence or advanced technology, far beyond what any human expedition of the era would expect to find in the Antarctic interior. The sheer scale of Operation Highjump, 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, for what was ostensibly a mapping mission, becomes profoundly significant in this context. If the true objective was to investigate such sources of powerful, unknown light or energy, which could indicate advanced technology, hidden civilizations, or even entrances to subterranean worlds, the overwhelming force appears entirely justified. The abrupt termination of the mission after only 8 weeks, rather than its planned duration, could signify a rapid withdrawal following a direct encounter with the source of this luminescence. This strange light could emanate from a hidden Nazi base, established during Germany's own secret Antarctic expeditions, experimenting with advanced energy sources. Or, more controversially, it could be the light from an extraterrestrial presence, or a pre-glacial civilization whose technology continues to operate in the deep ice. Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about encountering a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds might be a direct reference to the inhabitants or technology associated with this very light source. Byrd, a decorated naval officer and respected explorer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. The military has never fully explained the true purpose of the mission, the reported damages to ships, or the personnel losses. What profound energy or intelligence radiates this strange luminescence from the depths of Antarctica? And what did Admiral Byrd truly witness in its ethereal glow, a secret that remains classified and hidden from public knowledge even today? The hushed murmur of scientific debate fills the room as you stand among a gathering of glaciologists, their faces illuminated by intricate maps and thermal imaging data of the Antarctic interior. The discussion centers on anomalous heat flows, inexplicable pockets of warmth detected beneath miles of ice that defy conventional models of geothermal activity. These aren't minor fluctuations. In certain regions, the heat signature is significant enough to suggest widespread melting from below, sustaining vast subglacial lakes and even flowing rivers. This scientific mystery resonates profoundly with Admiral Richard E. Byrd's controversial expeditions. You recall his alleged 1947 diary entries describing flights over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes. Such a landscape could only exist if sustained by powerful, consistent heat sources from beneath the ice, precisely what these anomalous heat flows suggest. Byrd's report to a Chilean newspaper about encountering a land beyond the pole would also align with the existence of such a geothermally active interior, creating an oasis in an otherwise frozen continent. Mainstream glaciology attributes these heat flows to various geological factors, such as unusually thin crust or a high concentration of radioactive elements. However, the sheer scale and consistency of some of these anomalies lead alternative researchers to consider more extraordinary possibilities. Could they be generated by advanced technology, perhaps the energy sources of a hidden civilization? Could they power subterranean bases, like those allegedly sought by Nazi Germany during its secret Antarctic expeditions? Or do they hint at the presence of unknown life forms, or even a pre-glacial civilization whose engineered systems continue to operate? The factual mysteries of Operation Highjump, the largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, involving 700 men and a massive fleet, remain. Why did it abruptly end after only 8 weeks, instead of its planned duration? The immense resources seem excessive for a mapping mission, but if the true objective was to investigate these anomalous heat flows and their potential sources, then the scale of the deployment becomes chillingly understandable. Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, and the military has never fully explained the true nature of his discoveries. What profound power lies beneath the Antarctic interior, generating these anomalous heat flows? And what did Admiral Byrd truly find in those warm, verdant lands that required such profound secrecy and a military response of unprecedented scale? The immense pressure of Antarctica's ice sheet seems to sigh around you, a deep, resonant hum that vibrates through the very bedrock. You stand in a theoretical landscape, piecing together the physics that could sustain life in this frozen realm, geothermal vents. These cracks in the Earth's crust, often found along tectonic plate boundaries, release heat from the planet's molten core, acting as natural heaters. Within a glaciologist's careful calculations, this phenomenon could melt vast sections of the overlying ice, creating enormous subglacial lakes and even flowing rivers, far from the sun's light. This scientific understanding offers a fascinating lens through which to view Admiral Richard E. Byrd's extraordinary claims. You recall his alleged 1947 diary entries during Operation Highjump, describing flights over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes. Such verdant oases in the heart of Antarctica would require a monumental heat source, precisely what these widespread geothermal anomalies could provide, fostering warm interior regions capable of sustaining complex ecosystems. Byrd's mention of a land beyond the pole in his radio interview further suggests an environment profoundly different from the frozen surface. Mainstream geology acknowledges geothermal activity, but its extent and potential for creating large, habitable zones beneath the Antarctic ice remain a subject of active research. Alternative theories, however, readily embrace the idea that these thermal anomalies could nurture unknown life forms, perhaps entirely new species adapted to chemosynthetic environments, isolated for millions of years. Or more controversially, could such warm, hidden environments have once supported, or still shelter, a pre-glacial civilization? The factual mysteries surrounding Operation Highjump persist. Why did this largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, with its 700 men and massive fleet, abruptly end after only 8 weeks, instead of its planned 6 to 8 months. The sheer scale of resources deployed seems excessive for mere cartography, but if the mission was to investigate significant geothermal activity, its potential to melt ice, create hidden ecosystems, or reveal classified geological discoveries, the force becomes understandable. Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, and the military has never fully explained the precise reasons for the mission's premature end or the reported losses. What wonders did Byrd truly encounter in those warm, ice-free regions, sustained by the Earth's inner heat? Did he witness unknown life forms? Or perhaps the remnants of an advanced civilization harnessing this very energy? What truth, linking theoretical physics to extraordinary discovery, did Admiral Byrd take to his grave, leaving us to wonder about the profound, hidden world thriving beneath Antarctica's frozen veil? The brittle scent of old newsprint fills your nostrils as you carefully unfold a collection of yellowed news clippings from the 1950s. These aren't the sensational headlines of tabloids, but subtly worded articles from respectable, albeit smaller, newspapers, often tucked away in regional archives. They recount anecdotal reports from returned servicemen of Operation Highjump and Operation Deep Freeze, speaking of unusual phenomena, strange aerial craft, and a pervasive sense of secrecy surrounding Admiral Richard E. Byrd's Antarctic expeditions. Many of these stories were quickly downplayed or disappeared from mainstream press, hinting at a deliberate suppression. You discern patterns in these fragmented reports, mentions of rapid, silent vehicles, strange lights in the sky, and an almost palpable atmosphere of fear and confusion among the crew. These hushed accounts echo Byrd's own public statements, particularly his alleged 1947 interview with a Chilean newspaper, where he warned of a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. The consistency across these disparate suppressed sources lends weight to the idea that Byrd's cryptic words were not an isolated incident, but a heavily censored glimpse into a profound truth. The factual mysteries surrounding Operation Highjump are emphasized by these clippings. Why did this largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, with its 700 men and massive fleet, abruptly end after only 8 weeks, instead of its planned 6 to 8 months? The resources seemed excessive for cartography, but if they were indeed confronting an advanced, unidentified adversary, the deployment of such a force becomes explicable. The clippings also hint at damaged ships and unexplained personnel losses, lending credence to the theory of an encounter-driven evacuation rather than a logistical failure. Mainstream historians often dismiss these snippets as sensationalism or misinterpretations, given the lack of official corroboration. However, alternative researchers suggest they are crumbs of truth deliberately left behind, or simply too numerous and consistent to be mere coincidence. Were these early reports hinting at advanced technology, perhaps a hidden Nazi base established during Germany's own secret Antarctic expeditions, or even an extraterrestrial presence? Byrd, a decorated naval officer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. His sudden death in 1957, shortly after his final Antarctic mission, only adds to the intrigue surrounding these suppressed accounts. The military has never fully explained the true nature of his discoveries. What profound, classified secrets did these fleeting news clippings hint at, and what did Admiral Byrd truly know about a hidden enemy beneath Antarctica's frozen veil, knowledge that remains hidden from the public even today? The quiet hum of old teletype machines and the hushed urgency of strategic meetings fill the air as you trace the invisible lines of the geopolitical chess game played out in the unforgiving Antarctic. The ink on the surrender documents of World War II was barely dry, yet the world was already plunging into the icy depths of the Cold War. In this tense new era, every unmapped corner of the globe became a potential theater for espionage and strategic advantage. You consider Nazi Germany's own clandestine expedition to Antarctica, Neuschwabenland, in 1938-39. This pre-war interest, often overshadowed by the horrors of the war, suggests a hidden agenda, a search for something beyond territorial claims. Then came Admiral Richard E. Byrd's colossal Operation Highjump in 1946-47, followed by Operation Deep Freeze in 1955-56, massive military-backed endeavors by the United States. Why such overwhelming force for what was officially presented as scientific and mapping missions? The involvement of 4 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft for Highjump, planned for 6 to 8 months but abruptly ending after only 8 weeks, speaks volumes of an urgency far beyond cartography. The factual mysteries deepen as you consider Byrd's own cryptic statements. His reported warning to a Chilean newspaper about a Koya, new enemy, that Poisal could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds, and his radio interview mentioning a land beyond the pole, suggest an encounter with a formidable, non-conventional adversary. Was this adversary a hidden Nazi base, leveraging advanced technology developed in the war, or perhaps an entirely unknown intelligence, guarding classified geological discoveries, or strategic sites of immense value? A pivotal piece of the puzzle is the Antarctic Treaty of 1961. Signed suspiciously soon after Byrd's expeditions, it bans all military activity on the continent, dedicating it to peaceful scientific research. This international accord, brokered during the height of the Cold War, effectively sealed off Antarctica from military contention. Was this treaty a preventative measure against a nascent arms race for the continent's secrets, or a collective agreement to contain a discovery too profound, too dangerous for any single nation to control? Byrd, a highly decorated naval officer and revered explorer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing. His sudden death in 1957, following his last Antarctic mission, further shrouds the events in secrecy. The military has never fully explained the true nature of what he found. What geopolitical tremors did Byrd's expeditions cause? And what profound, classified secret about Antarctica's interior forced the world's powers to unite in an unprecedented act of global control, a secret still guarded by silence, and a treaty? The air is thick with the scent of aged leather and dust as you sort through obscure texts and private correspondence, revealing persistent whispers of an underground city. These accounts, often found in esoteric circles and the fringes of historical research, describe not just hidden bases, but vast, subterranean metropolises beneath the Earth's surface, thriving in warmth and light. This idea of a hollow Earth, or at least immense internal caverns, has captivated theorists for centuries, often connected to tales of advanced beings and forgotten civilizations. These whispers resonate with startling clarity with Admiral Richard E. Byrd's controversial expeditions. You recall his alleged 1947 diary entries, which vividly describe flying over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes, and an astonishing journey into an inner world, a land beyond the pole, that was warm and inhabited. Could these accounts be more than fantastical claims, instead hinting at the discovery of such an underground city beneath Antarctica's formidable ice sheet? Byrd's credibility as a decorated naval officer lends an unsettling weight to these extraordinary claims. The factual mysteries of Operation Highjump, the largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, are significant. Why did this mission, involving 4 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, and planned for 6 to 8 months, abruptly end after only 8 weeks? If the objective was merely mapping, such a deployment and premature withdrawal are perplexing. However, if the goal was to locate or confront a hidden underground city, or a new enemy within it, as Byrd reportedly told a Chilean newspaper, an enemy capable of flying from pole to pole at incredible speeds, then the overwhelming force and hasty retreat make chilling sense. The geopolitical context, with Nazi Germany's own pre-war Antarctic expeditions, adds another layer of intrigue. Were they, too, seeking such an underground refuge, or a source of advanced technology within a subterranean city? Post-World War II, the scramble for intelligence and advanced weaponry was intense, making any discovery of a hidden civilization or advanced technology a matter of supreme national security. Byrd was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, a directive that extended until his death in 1957. The military has never fully explained the losses or the true reasons for Highjump's premature end. What profound secret, what vast underground city do these esoteric whispers and Byrd's cryptic accounts truly point to? And why, 75 years later, does the truth about Antarctica's hidden depths and what Admiral Byrd took to his grave remain so fiercely classified? The soft hum of a magnetometer fills your ears as you scrutinize intricate magnetic anomaly maps of Antarctica. These scientific charts, compiled from decades of aerial and satellite surveys, reveal the subtle distortions in Earth's magnetic field. While many anomalies are natural, caused by variations in geological composition, certain patterns on these maps stand out. Perfectly circular disturbances, long straight lines of magnetic variation, and regular grid-like signatures that appear to be artificial, too precise and localized to be merely geological. Imagine Admiral Richard E. Byrd's crews during Operation Highjump, using early magnetic sensing equipment. Their instruments would have picked up strong, inexplicable fluctuations, possibly causing the erratic compass behavior reported during flights over Marie Birdland. These magnetic anomalies, captured today with far greater resolution, lend powerful credence to the persistent claims that Byrd discovered something extraordinary beneath the ice. Mainstream geophysicists generally seek natural explanations for these magnetic variations. However, alternative researchers argue that the geometric precision and localized intensity of some anomalies strongly suggest the presence of massive, buried metallic objects or advanced energy sources. Could these be the magnetic signatures of vast, hidden structures built by a pre-glacial civilization? Or perhaps they reveal a concealed Nazi base, established during Germany's own secret Antarctic expeditions, harnessing experimental technologies that distort the local magnetic field. The factual mysteries surrounding Operation Highjump are particularly relevant here. Why did this largest Antarctic expedition ever mounted, with its 700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft, planned for 6 to 8 months, abruptly end after only 8 weeks? The immense resources seem excessive for cartography, but if the mission was to investigate, and perhaps neutralize, sources of powerful artificial magnetic anomalies, the scale becomes compellingly justified. Byrd's reported statement to a Chilean newspaper about encountering a new enemy that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds could directly refer to technologically advanced craft operating within or emanating from these magnetically active zones. Byrd, a decorated naval officer, was allegedly ordered to remain silent after his classified debriefing, and his sudden death in 1957, shortly after his final Antarctic mission, further shrouds these discoveries in secrecy. The military has never fully explained the true nature of these magnetic anomalies, or the abrupt end of the mission. What advanced technology or hidden intelligence creates these artificial magnetic signatures beneath Antarctica's frozen surface? And what profound classified secrets did Admiral Byrd uncover, secrets that still ripple through the Earth's magnetic field, hidden from public knowledge even today? The quiet hum of seismic data analysis fills the lab as you delve into the Earth's deep past, exploring the intriguing yet controversial concept of crustal displacement. Unlike plate tectonics, which describes the slow drift of continents, this theory posits that the entire outer shell of the Earth can occasionally shift rapidly over the underlying mantle, relocating massive land masses, including poles, to entirely different climatic zones in a geological blink of an eye. If true, it would mean that Antarctica, currently a frozen wasteland, could have been in a much more temperate, even tropical latitude, relatively recently in geological terms. This theoretical possibility casts Admiral Richard E. Byrd's controversial expeditions into an even more profound light. You recall his alleged 1947 diary entries describing flights during Operation Highjump over ice-free areas with vegetation and lakes. Such verdant landscapes in the heart of Antarctica, if viewed through the lens of crustal displacement, suggest that the continent might not have been frozen for millions of years, but that parts of it were exposed and even temperate much more recently. Byrd's radio interview, mentioning a land beyond the pole, takes on a literal, geographic meaning within this theory. Mainstream geology primarily adheres to plate tectonics, which suggests a slower, more gradual continental drift. However, alternative researchers propose that crustal displacement could explain rapid climate changes in the past, accounting for anomalous finds like non-native plant specimens in ice cores. If Antarctica was indeed positioned differently, it could have harbored pre-glacial civilizations. Their ruins, now buried by ice after a sudden shift, reposition the continent to the pole. The factual mysteries surrounding Operation Highjump are compelling. Why did it involve 700 men, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft for what was supposedly a mapping mission? If the mission's true purpose was to investigate a recently displaced continent, exploring for evidence of lost civilizations, or strategic military sites in newly exposed or once temperate zones, the scale becomes entirely logical. The abrupt termination of the mission after only 8 weeks, instead of its planned 6 to 8 months, could signify an encounter with something guarding these ancient secrets,